What is up everybody, my name is Captain Caleb and I'm bringing you a video. A video for those moments when you scroll through your 100 plus games in your Steam library, knowing that you very well have something to play, but you keep muttering to yourself, I have nothing to play, I have nothing to play. Well, I've got a solution for you. I'm bringing you my top 5 favorite free-to-play games, in no particular order, that will bring you at least a few hours of fun that you can either do by yourself or with your mates, most likely. These games will of course have to have at least good quality gameplay, and if they're multiplayer, a decent sized fan base is still playing them. Without that out of the way, let's get on with the video, shall we? First game on our list is Ravenfield. Ravenfield is a free-to-play game designed by Johan Hassel, or more commonly known as Steel Raven 7. Ravenfield is a result of what happens when you get a game like Battlefield and put it into Unity. You get a more brightly coloured, cartoony version of the game itself, which more focuses on chaotic single-player chaos, I guess, instead of the more frantic, tactical, medium-paced action that you would expect from a normal Battlefield game. It has smaller maps than Battlefield normally would have, but what it does offer is crazy AI battles with literally infinite amounts of bots, if you could so please. I mean, if you have the time, you can hold down the number 9 key on your keyboard for a while and put in a lot of bots into the game, and you better have a better beefy computer, but even just playing the game with more bots than you could have in Battlefield, it offers very sort of unique and different sort of gameplay than most other games. And it's free to play, of course. It can be downloaded from Steel Raven 7's site, or itch.io. It's a very small download, it downloads in a zip. I think it's under 500 megabytes, and it'll offer you quite a few hours of free to play fun. I know it has offered me at least 30 hours of 30 to 40 hours of just derping around in the game, and it's something that's definitely worth trying out. It is coming to Steam later on. Will be put through Greenlight. The game might have multiplayer in the future. It has neither been confirmed nor denied by Steel Raven 7, but he has said the main focus of the game will be on chaotic, fun, single-player action. The next game on our list is Warface. Warface is a free-to-play military shooter set in the near future, developed by Crytek and made in the CryEngine. Warface is a fast-paced online game with 4 classes: the Assault, Medic, Engineer, and Sniper. All pretty linear sort of classes. They do their job. Assault, basically jack of all trades sort of guy, no special abilities though. He just gets a gun that you can actually use. Sniper, try-hard dude. He's basically just the Assault but with a sniper rifle. Medic, the class that should be played but no one actually does. And the Engineer, basically just the medic. It receives constant updates from its developers quite regularly, with all sorts of new weapons, maps, operations coming in. Is a array of different game modes, such as things like a very unique sort of co-op mode where you and a bunch of other randos come together with really bad ping and fight a bunch of AI, and it's pretty fun, I guess. You got different difficulties. You got easy, which is basically get to point A to point B, and then you got the harder game modes, which usually have bosses and stuff, and quite a few people do play those. And there's also the versus mode, which is basically you got 2 really servers. Basically, you got the level 1 to 14 guys, and they're all put together in a server. Yet for some reason they want all the level 15 to 80 together in a server, which I think isn't particularly good, because you got someone who's just got out of the low level server, and he's put with guys who've been playing the game since basically as long as it existed. But it used to have quite a lot of hackers, but the number of hackers has definitely gone down. And it had more pay-to-win aspects to it, where you could buy the best armor and the best weapons and everything. But most of those have been filtered out, and basically you were able to grind to actually unlock anything. The game features a sort of unique system for unlocking weapons, where as you play, you get vendor points, and you can choose what to spend those vendor points on. Basically, before the match starts, you can either choose a weapon, armor, or gadget, I think, and you select one, and all the vendor points you get from that match will be spent onto that, and once you spend all of them on that, it unlocks it to buy in the shop. There's a leveling system that gives you the currency and stuff. All in all, it is a good game. However, if you live far from Europe, Turkey, or the US, you will have problems connecting to the versus mode, as now they've implemented too high ping will disconnect you from the server automatically, which is a problem for me since when I did that, since I live very far from all of those, I can't really connect to any versus servers now, and I'm just restricted to co-op. Next, we obviously have Team Fortress 2, one of my most favorite game of all time. It's everything a class-based shooter should be. You have 9 extremely diverse classes with their own personality and backstory that are all so uniquely different. It just makes the game that much better because every class has some ability, but every class has a counter, but every class has a counter for the counter and everything. And a team cannot work without a class. Certain classes, like your team will not function properly if you have a bunch of scouts and soldiers, but no medic. Of course, so the soldier can be quite self-dependent sometimes, but it's everything a class-based shooter should be, with extremely diverse classes that rely on each other so heavily to create a team. Now, Team Fortress 2 at this point is aging. It's almost 10 years old, and the community is starting to drop a bit. And some people, quite a few people are leaving it for Overwatch, which I just don't see why you should ever leave a game. If you think that another game is better, like, there's no reason to leave it. Sometimes you might want to come back to it, and you can't because you've left it or you've sold all your items or something. But the community is slowly dropping, but it's still at a sort of good sort of standard right now. But the game has had its ups and downs with updates since its small development team, and it took quite a hit after the Meet Your Match update, which completely broke the matchmaking, where you'd have to search hours on end to begin with that you find a match. However, this was fixed more recently, where I can now usually find a match within 10 seconds, and the fact that you do no longer have to leave the match and find a new match, and you can vote for a new map is, my opinion, it just makes the game sort of the matchmaking better than what it was before Meet Your Match, I guess. And the leveling system, there's no benefit to it, but it's just sort of another incentive to keep playing the game after this time. The competitive matchmaking I've not played much of, though. But it works similarly to casual, but just slightly more competitive, and takes a bit longer to find. Professionally, on the competitive scale, Team Fortress 2 is definitely not as big as CSGO, but it's trying to poke its head in every now and then with UGC and Highlander and all that. But of course, though, the main reason we all play this game is hats. Just hats, 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 and hats. And cosmetics. Just everything. Customization is key. This game has been tagged as a war-themed hat simulator. It's just what brought so many people to the game, I guess, is just sort of memes and stuff about the hats. Just, you gotta have the hats. There's also a great trading community, which I think is probably the best trading community I've just think, because CSGO has a good one, but doesn't have a solid currency other than keys. And I just think you got all the different kinds of medals and keys and stuff, and Team Fortress 2 makes a much more solid trading community of the game. Speaking of community, well, you will find your fair share of, squeakers and mic spammers, bad teammates and everything, but that's what you expect from a game of this sort of scale and sort of what it is. But it has fluent gameplay. You cannot say you are a PC gamer if you have never played TF2. You don't have to like it, but it's that one game that everyone's played at least once. For the second last thing on our list, we have Battlefield 2/2142, which is available through the Revive launcher of the Revive project, which is allowing players to play the older, more classic Battlefield games 2 and 2142 for free since GameSpy shut down and the game has really sort of been abandoned while EA and DICE work on their newer projects and stuff. Now, I'm not sure if this is technically a piracy or if it's just sort of emulating or just reviving a game, but it's sort of, I'd say it's a legal sort of grey area, don't think too much about it, but it's basically classic Battlefield that's given to you through the Revive launcher in a way that you can still play it again without having to do all sorts of fancy things and downloading all these weird things off the internet and going through the files and stuff and using third-party programs. You download the launcher, which is it's a very clean, sort of not messy launcher. It's a well done launcher, and from there you can either download 2142 or Battlefield 2 for free and play them as soon as they're downloaded. Just no silly things going on. You can just play the games you love to play. And you know, Battlefield 2 and 2142, they're just classic Battlefield, big maps, large player action, and all that. The surprising thing about this game is that while not too many people play 2142, a actually very surprising amount of people do play Battlefield 2, which is quite odd, really, that this game, like, it's just how old it is, that you can still find full servers and stuff, like, and I don't mean there's like one or two, I mean like at least like 10 to 20 servers of people that you can join and you can play with, which is more people tend to play this game, I found, than people tend to play Bad Company 2, which is really surprising and really good. If you want to have just a good time, you want to join a squad for some classic Battlefield, this is a really fun way to do that. And last but not least, we have Brawlhalla, which is basically like Super Smash Bros. But for PC. Developed by Blue Mammoth Games, it is a free-to-play 2D side-scroller fighting game, where it basically consists of you beat up the other guys until they fly really far when you punch them, and you punch them off the floaty island thingies. And it's a simple yet fun game, just like what Super Smash Bros. Is. It features an array of characters with their own sort of unique sort of weapons and abilities, although most of them, there's basically different ones, I guess. But they all have similar weapons, most of them. Sort of got different classes of them, I would say, and some of them are just reskins of other ones. But the only things that you can really buy for this game that cost money are skins. Other than that, the game is entirely free to play. I remember testing it while it was in beta. It was quite a fun game, quite worth it, and it's something that's definitely worth having. It basically consists of, you can either have free for all 4 versus all match, or you can do 1v1 ranked, and it's a simple yet fun game. I hope you all enjoyed this video, because it did take me a while to make, and I just didn't want to do another live commentary. I've just done so many of those. I didn't want to milk it again, I just want to do something a bit different. That's why I haven't been uploading like a week now, because just couldn't think of anything different to do, so I thought, no, I was already started this project a while back. I've got like 3 other unfinished videos. I haven't really got past the script writing stage. But if you like this video, please make sure you tell me that in the comments or something. It's always nice to read comments. And I'll see you in the next video later.